We're going to have a little lesson on how to clean the kitchen in the morning and in the afternoon when we're done. It's the exact same procedure. You should be following both times. I'll be on vacation. I want everybody to know how to do it right so I don't come back to a dirty kitchen. So start with your clean bucket of water. I start over here with this table. And there's crumbs on this table, so that means it didn't get wiped down very good last night. So make sure you wipe it down really good with your bleach water. Wipe up here and get all this condensation off. Move the Robocoo out of the way and give that a wipe. There's often crumbs and cheese and things like that under there. Wipe the front of it. If there's a scale, wipe the scale. We want everything sanitized before we start doing stuff in the kitchen with food. Make sure you get the edges. If there's anything down here, wipe this up too. Crumbs get down here all the time, so wipe that up. And then I change out my water or my rag every couple of surfaces that I wipe so that we're not just wiping dirt onto the tables. If Andrew has been here making pie crust, pull this away and wipe the flour out from between it. And then also, flour gets onto these things, so we wipe these things down. The scales here, give them a little wipe. Wipe up here. Flour goes everywhere, and Andrew's making pie crust, so the flour goes all over. Wipe the side of this. And we change out our rag again. Coming back this way. Okay, you want to wipe the top of the flour bucket. And then wipe down the mixer. The mixer likes to let off some grease sometimes, so wipe all around. Wipe the inside. Wipe the little handles. Wipe the handle on the side. Just give it a good wipe down, wipe underneath. And then wipe this freezer down. And wipe down up here. And wipe the door handles. All the door handles get wiped down. And then we're over here. Every so often you can pull these things out and wipe behind them. It doesn't have to happen every single time, but occasionally in the space of a week it should be happening once or twice. If it looks real dusty up here or floury, move these things out of the way and just wipe it down. Whoops. Whoops. Save the pieces. Woo. Got that bucket a little full. Okay, and then over here you want to wipe down anything that got spilled up here, like the mess I made yesterday. Move the knives out of the way. Wipe underneath them. Move this out of the way. And wipe underneath this stuff. And then move these knives. Wipe underneath them. This can go back. Okay, clean rag. I don't have anything really exciting to say. But this is what I do every morning, guys. Usually before you get here. Get all of that condensation off of there. Okay, clean rag, because that was gross. Okay, and this counter. And then the door handles. And the fronts of the doors. And up the sides. Okay, clean rag again. Come over here. Lift this up. Crumbs get underneath here. So lift that up and wipe that off really well. Then come over here to the microwave. Wipe the front of the microwave and the door. And look inside of it to see if it's clean. Give it a little thing. If it's really dirty, take the plate out and wash it in the sink. All the sink handles get sanitized. Okay. And then even though we don't use this, we wipe it down so that dust and dirt do not fall into the food that we're cooking below it. All of this, you can get in between the two ovens. That's good. You want to wipe down underneath this part and then wipe the handles. And then wipe this and wipe underneath this. And if you go this direction, you won't accidentally turn the burners on. And wipe the door, wipe under the door. I can feel that there's something on there like dough of some sort. Okay. And then we wipe the tops of this and the side of this. Make sure you get underneath that. And then you got to wipe the backsplash. And then move over here and wipe this down. Just shove everything out of the way. And wipe this backsplash. And wipe down this oven. Okay, now we're on to the main table, the cat food table. The cat food table gets wiped twice because it had cat food on it, and sometimes there's been cat food sitting overnight, so there's things that are stuck on. So I wipe it twice because then the water can kind of sit on there and loosen up the things that are stuck on, like this thing's stuck on. If I've wiped up cat food, I rinse my rag because I don't want cat food in my water. Oops. This is for employees only. Otherwise, we wouldn't be talking about cat food. Wipe this down. If there's anything on the wall from people cutting up whatever they cut up that didn't get wiped down yesterday. Wipe down the wall. Wipe down this thing if this area's got anything on it. Wipe down the handles. If the sinks look dirty, you can wipe them out. Wipe all of this down. Move this out of the way. Wipe this down. Wipe down over here. Okay. So then I come back and I do this table the second time. So now some of the things that were stuck on should come right off. I clean this thing, pull this up, wipe this down in case there's any food stuck on it. Okay, that looks pretty good. Okay, and next I do the sink. If you can feel that the inside of this sink, make sure you get the handles really good because we're all touching those handles. We want that clean. And underneath here, if you see stuff, kind of gunky stuff, try to get it out. But if you can tell that the inside of the sink feels a little bit grimy, use some Awesome or some Ajax and clean it out. And then I wipe down the side of this. Oh, give that a little wipe too. And then if you're short like me, you can stand on a rock and clean the top of this. Sanitize this. You want to get the door handles and the door, and then open it up and see if there's anything in here that needs to be wiped up. Any crumbs or quiche filling. Do the bottom oven. In theory, this should have all been cleaned yesterday afternoon, so it shouldn't be too much more than just sanitizing things. Get the knobs everywhere we touch, and then the other side of the top. This side of the oven doesn't really get that dirty, so I don't know why. Clean rag. And we're almost done. I would do the door handles on the fridges and freezers. And then if you see anything like this, some flour here, give that a wipe. And then come over here and wipe the doors of the Alta-Shaam or the door handles. And then these refrigerators, if you see fingerprints and butter on the inside, just give that a wipe. Door handles over here. Over here. And we're done. That's it.